All birds find a shelter during the rain, but the eagle avoids the rain by flying above the clouds. Problems are common, but attitude makes the difference. This is what we believe in at DIEMS and say, let us rise above the rest. In pursuance of excellence in the field of technical education, the Marathwada Shikshan Prasarak Mandal, one of the leading educational trusts imparting quality education to more than 1 lakh students every year, entered the field of professional education on its Golden Jubilee celebration in the name of the Devgiri Institute of Engineering and Management Studies, Aurangabad. Started with 300 students in 2009, it has grown to over 3,000 students offering technical and management education with ultra-modern infrastructure and facilities. It is recognized amongst the top 100 private engineering institutes across India by Times Engineering, which is a Times of India initiative. The institute is approved by the AICTE, accredited by NAC, and affiliated to the Baba Saheb Ambedkar Technological University, Lonere, Raigad, Maharashtra. The institute offers an industry-oriented syllabus. Internship from the first year itself, gives a choice of open electives from the second year, and 6 months of industrial training in the final year, enabling students to develop knowledge as per industrial requirements. The institute offers the BTech and MTech courses in various disciplines like mechanical engineering, electronics and telecommunication engineering, civil engineering, computer science and engineering, as well as a master's in business administration. Leaders become great not because of their power, but because of their ability to empower others. Creative learning, personal attention, individual counseling, and valuable
For those who are watching live right now, we we're getting back. Okay, just hold on. There's a technical issue from the Devgiri's team, and they're working on it. So they'll everyone will be back in a couple of minutes. I'll be on mute, of course. We can do another thing. Meanwhile, you guys can comment on the YouTube section, and I'll try to answer a few questions. For the YouTube bot RB, you guys can comment Devgiri OP if you're familiar with the uh, YouTube chat box lingo. Hello, Rushal. How are you? This might take a bit of time, but we can still have a conversation till it all starts again. Good morning, Sumit. In the YouTube comments, you guys can let me know if I'm audible enough when I'm speaking, of course. When I'm not speaking, I'm muting myself. I'm doing great, Vrushal. Thank you. Hello, Maithili. Good morning, Aditi. Good morning, Aniket. Thank you, Vrushal. Thank you, Pragya K. Good morning, Akash. Good morning, Saurabh.
Let us rise above the rest. In pursuance of excellence in the field of technical education, the Marathwada Shikshan Prasarak Mandal, one of the leading educational trusts imparting quality education to more than 1 lakh students every year, entered the field of professional education on its Golden Jubilee celebration in the name of the Devgiri Institute of Engineering and Management Studies, Aurangabad. Started with 300 students in 2009, it has grown to over 3,000 students offering technical and management education with ultra-modern infrastructure and facilities. It is recognized amongst the top 100 private engineering institutes across India by Times Engineering, which is a Times of India initiative. The institute is approved by the AICTE, accredited by NAC, and affiliated to the Baba Saheb Ambedkar Technological University, Lonere, Raigad, Maharashtra. The institute offers an industry-oriented syllabus, internship from the first year itself, gives a choice of open electives from the second year, and 6 months of industrial training in the final year, enabling students to develop knowledge as per industrial requirements. The institute offers the BTech and MTech courses in various disciplines like mechanical engineering, electronics and telecommunication engineering, civil engineering, computer science and engineering, as well as a master's in business administration. Leaders become great not because of their power, but because of their ability to empower others. Creative learning, personal attention, individual counseling, and valuable guidance open up a world of new ideas, which infuse the motivated students and staff with positive energy and creative thoughts. This can be expressed as a unique equation. DIEMS is equal to discipline plus academics plus placements. Why DIEMS? There are more than 40 spacious and well-ventilated classrooms which provide a healthy environment for innovative classroom learning. More than 60 well-equipped laboratories with best-in-class equipments meet not only the requirements of the syllabi, but they are also intended to give practical experience to the students. The students here enjoy the fun of performing various scientific experiments. Playing with various circuit components and seeing how they work in real time is the best way to learn. Competent teachers demonstrate the experiments in the labs, and the students get opportunities to explore inside and beyond the classrooms. These labs provide the facilities for performing practicals on the related concepts on each subject. There are updated software and equipment for the different subjects. Here, the future engineers experiment with, test and prove theorems. Every laboratory aims to prepare students with the knowledge and ability to improve, evaluate, design and control sustainable and cost-effective technologies in order to make innovative and useful contributions to humanity. In order to ensure that the students are well aware of the required industrial standards, not just theoretically but also in practice, we at DIEMS have a fully equipped central workshop. Here, the students are not only informed about the various stages in the making of a job, but they also get a chance to perform all these jobs on the shop floor. The students complete their projects in the workshop for vehicle manufacturing and assembling of parts. Here, we make sure that our future engineers never miss out on the finest details regarding the various elements of manufacturing. The Institute's library is enveloped in a serene atmosphere. It has a spacious reading room and serves the students and the faculty with more than 30,000 reference books, periodicals, magazines, newspapers, and journals. Our digital library provides the students with online books and e-journals, articles, video lectures, manuals, and many more. It also provides updates, study material, and databases on a large scale, all of which support the academic curriculum of students. Our students enjoy the facility of an elegant seminar hall for conducting guest lectures, training programs, and technical events. The spacious conference room is outfitted with presentation technology for conducting conferences, meetings, and presentations. To meet the requirement of activity-based programs, short-term training programs, and technical workshops, 2 distinct seminar halls have been provided. Understanding the dynamics of industrial expectation at the national and international levels, this year the students have been trained by companies like TCS, TechRel, and Barclays. The highest number of job offers was achieved in 2019. with offers from companies like Byju's, Wipro Technologies, Reliance Jio, Atlas Copco India Limited, Dhoot Transmission, Jaro Education, Hire, Sintel and many others. The highest compensation package offered was 9 lakh rupees per annum. The girls as well as boys hostels of DIEMS is located in a safe and secure campus, and it is indeed a new home away from home. Strict rules are followed and discipline is not compromised. The mess is a great place where food is cooked to perfection and where the homemade flavors and tastes and affordable prices are a hit with the hostelites. Well, the canteen is the favorite place for the students to relax from their hectic schedules. It is also the best place for students to mingle in groups. We encourage our students to excel not just in academics but also in sports. Situated in the center of our campus is a vast, lush green playground where students can bring out the athlete in them. Under the NSS activity, the students take concrete steps to discharge their social responsibility by performing various activities like organizing tree plantation drives and blood donation camps, check dam construction, and conducting street plays. The institute has also adopted a village, Sultanpur, under this initiative and are educating the local people every year about critical subjects like water conservation, environmental awareness, and child education. The college frequently takes the students on industrial visits to various companies with the objective of providing them exposure to real-world problems and inculcate a practical approach. More than 500 industrial visits have been arranged so far. DIEMS has a strong network with the corporate sector, professionals and industrial experts and regularly hosts expert talks with the noble intention of keeping the students updated with the latest trends and practices in the industry. More than 350 expert talks have been arranged annually. As a part of Industry Institute interaction, 102 of our students worked in the industry on 34 live projects under GIZ initiative. To develop the students' sometimes enigmatic personalities, there are 20 active clubs in the institute. The Devgiri Cycling Club has completed an arduous expedition from Jammu to Kanyakumari, giving the message "Save the Girl Child," and another expedition from Aurangabad to Bhutan, which had the message "A Pollution-Free Asia." The Red Hat Academy helps students differentiate themselves by providing enterprise-ready Linux and open-source advanced training, which develops skills that are in demand. More than 150 students have been certified so far, and more than 50 students have got jobs in open-source technologies. Show 2019 was a one-of-a-kind exhibition project in which the projects were prepared by first-year engineering students under the course Engineering Exploration. These students generated 35 great ideas, worked on 12 need statements, and developed 60 projects along with the final year students who exhibited their lab-to-land projects. More than 6,000 visitors visited this mega event. Recently, the institute had organized the flagship 4th International Conference on Computing in Engineering and Technology. Here, researchers, engineers, and scientists from around the world participated and presented their research papers, which were published in the AISC series of Springer. The institute is well known for its dazzling academic records. The students have brought glory to the institute with consistent performances in the university exams by securing top ranks in the merit list and setting new benchmarks every year. We have excelled with flying colors in technical events as well. Team Dynamic Boosters won the General Championship in the Student Kart Design Challenge Season 2, held at Hyderabad, and also stood second runner-up in the Bharat Formula National Level Go-Kart Championship held at Coimbatore in March 2019. The all-girls team Tejaswini got the Best Cost-Effective Report Award and Visionary Award in the Saur Urja Vehicle Challenge held in March 2019. Recently, Team Bhumiputra won the Best Innovation Award for the Onion Harvester in the event Tiffan, organized by SAE India. A college is marked by its multifaceted cultural events that include its annual social gathering. Eminent personalities from the civil services and the industry are invited as chief guests, and they are invariably a great source of inspiration to the youngsters. The festival includes various events where the students are given a unique platform to think, step forward, and showcase their talents. This event has its own color and is very unique in its own way. This year too, we celebrated Quasars 2019 with the unique theme of patriotism, dedicated to the brave Indian soldiers who sacrificed their lives during the Pulwama attack. Financial support of 5 lakh rupees was given to the families of the martyrs. DIEMS, providing education ingrained with moral and social values to bring out the youth as professional and responsible citizens with character and humility beyond compare. DIEMS, an institute where the sky is not the limit, and so we say, let us rise above the rest.
Hello, my name is Vinayak Podar and I'm from Computer Science Department. I recently got placed in Byju's Think and Learn Private Limited through the campus placement drives. So, along with the technical education, the social skills also need to be developed equally. And for this, the college has been striving hard by keeping events such as Inspire Talks, because of which the students are getting more connected to the industry and the industry people. So, thank you, Devgiri Institute of Engineering and Management Studies, for providing me with such a great opportunity to me and all my friends.
Hello everyone, my name is Vaishnavi Solunke and I am a computer science graduate from Devgiri Institute of Engineering and Management Studies. Today I am placed in ASPOL Media Private Limited and the credit for this goes to the college. The college conducted aptitude trainings and soft skill programs for the students and I feel proud and privileged to be a part of DIMS family. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Dweep Kohli from Mechanical Department and I am from Bombay. I have selected this institute because of its unique features like the mentor-mentee scheme, which develops a strong bond between the students and the teachers. And at the same time, it also allowed me to participate in various competitive events. And also, it given me the opportunity to participate and be shortlisted in various multinational companies like John Deere and Cummins.
Hello, I'm Swati Kakade, pass out from DIEMS, currently working in a Microsoft as an associate consultant in data and AI. And I would like to thank DIEMS for their cooperation and support.
Hello everyone, my name is Aditya Konade. I'm a site reliability engineer at Red Hat Germany. I'm a computer science engineering graduate from the IMS with the batch of 2017, and I thank the college for their continued support and engagement.
I'm Purnima Zalte. I'm civil engineer, passed out from DIEMS. I'm currently working as environmental health and safety officer in L&T construction in water division. And I thanks DIEMS for their valuable inputs, support, and guidance.
Hello, this is Yogesh Gawande, BE Mechanical from 2018 batch. I have started my own startup company when I was in second year in DIMS. I would like to say that DIMS is a very good institute for aspiring engineering students. It has all the facilities to meet the needs of students. I am thankful to management and DIMS family. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Saidi from BECSC 2018 batch. Currently, I'm working as Associate Quality Engineer at Red Hat Bangalore. I would like to say that the Institute has been very supportive and has played a phenomenal role in my success. I would like to thank the DIMS family and feel immensely proud that I got a chance to be a part of it.
Good morning, all. On behalf of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering Department, Devgiri Institute of Engineering and Management Studies, Aurangabad, I, Professor Kushidikar, welcome you all for the webinar on Engineering and Management Studies. We are having webinar today on engineering acoustics New Career Options for Electronics and Civil Engineering Students by Mr. Amod Deshpande, Sir, who is Managing Director at Consonance Acoustics LLP Aurangabad. Speaking about Amod sir, he is a distinguished student of Kendriya Vidyalaya Aurangabad, an alumni of Devgiri Junior College. He is also done with BTech in Civil Engineering from VNIT Nagpur, and he has done his Master of Science in Engineering Acoustics from Technical University of Denmark in 2017. With a strong academic background, in his professional career, he has played a versatile role in such a young age of his life. He has been co-founder of Rentateka, which is an online destination to rent and borrow almost everything till 2016. He has been a teaching assistant of Technical University of Denmark. He was also the guest lecturer at Dr. D.Y. Patil School of Architecture for 2 months. From last more than 2.5 years, he is playing a role of Director of Operation at Amod Consultants Aurangabad. He is Managing Director at Consonance Acoustics Aurangabad and Head of Epiphanies Media Aurangabad. Dear friends, I really wonder how this all can be possible in one personality in such a young age. But Amod sir made it possible. In this tough time, it's always good to be in search of new career opportunities, as you really don't know. It may just coincide with something you've been passionate about. Amod sir is going to help us out in guiding in such a one of the field called as acoustic engineering. Welcome, sir. Now I request Dr. Ullas Shiurkar sir, Director, DIMS, to preamble on this session. Sir, please.
Very good morning to all of you. Hi Amod, how are you?
I'm
Today's
good,
guest
sir. Thank you so
speaker,
much.
Amod Deshpande, head of my vice principal, Professor Sanjay Kalyankar, head of the electoral department, Professor Rauti, Dr. Gandhe, all the faculty members, and my young friends. There are always plus or minus side of every situation. COVID, lots of minus thing, but there are some good positive things are there. Because of the COVID situation, every institute is trying to conduct such type of webinars, and I'm very happy. All the departments of my institute work very proactively for exploring some different opportunities with the budding engineers. With electronic department, once our webinar conducted, how you convert project into product. Civil engineering department and mechanical engineering department has conducted one competition. 5 to 6 webinars from computer science department, 2 or 3 competitions they have conducted. First year in department, lots of things, and that is the plus point of Corona. But what is why we arrange this webinar particularly as an electronics engineer, civil engineers, we have very limited vision of our career. What are the career points with electronics? We may work with hardware or we work with the software IT industry. For civil engineers, everybody will think I am appearing for the services, MPSC. But now, right now, what is the situation? That we don't know when the recruitment process of government of Maharashtra will start. Everybody is in trouble. So we have to think for the different opportunities, and this sound engineering is a really a different opportunity available for all the budding engineers. Sound is an inherent part of our life. Nobody can. We know it. And particularly when it comes to technology, lots of developments are there. The acoustic requirement has been tremendously increased and a good career opportunity. Not only the walls or the soundproof room, it starts with the devices. We know that one single amplifier may be costing more than 1 crore rupees. Amod will say it is like that. And the require even with the headphone, whatever the headphones we are using, of 100 rupees headphone to we may have a 5 to 10,000 rupees headphone, and we get the difference. So everywhere there is a great requirement of electronics engineers, civil engineers for this. For industry also, we require lots of vibration, noise, and everything. We have to release the noise and everything. So Amod is an authority. I'm very happy that I'm calling a person authority at the very early age. But he studied well. He's executing the projects. He's consultant. He has gone with his biodata. It's really remarkable achievement. So I wish best of luck to Amod. Congratulations for the department for arranging such an informative webinar. For all the listeners, what is my request? Take the advantage of the situation. We are engineers. We have to apply our engineering mindset to come out of this. Maybe some old jobs are going to be finished, but there will be lots of new opportunities will be created, and we have to find the opportunities. And I am very sure my students, the engineering students, I'm not talking only the engineering, all the engineers can come out of this with a good solution. Thank you. Over to you, Kushi.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. Uh, with this, I just wanted to take a charge by Amod sir, and I wish we are all eager to hear you, sir. So over to you, sir. You can take further charge.
Yeah. So, hello everyone, and I've prepared a small presentation. A few key points would be, if you are not able to hear the audio that is embedded in the presentation, let me know in the comment section immediately. All right, let's make this work. And as Murphy's law says that everything that can go wrong will go wrong, and we are humans, so we know about Murphy's law, and we've learned how to tackle Murphy's law not only in the situation this morning, but in the situation of COVID-19. And I still am here talking to you guys. So that's really great. That's an opportunity for everyone to learn something new. So can we move on to the presentation, ma'am? Great. So engineering acoustics for electronics and civil engineering students. As sir said, why electronics and civil engineering students? Because it sort of is a core for electronics and civil engineering students, also maybe a bit for mechanical engineering students. Before that, I'll talk a bit about myself. I am Amod Deshpande. I am from Aurangabad. I have a civil engineering degree. I pursued my acoustics in Denmark. I work as an acoustical consultant. I'm a musician, and I'm also a movie maker. So many people know or do not know. Now, this may seem a bit unrelated to the topic, but rabdi jalebi dal chawal ke baad milta hai. So, emotions, can we model emotions? Let's talk a bit about that. All right. So, this is a circumplex model developed by Posner, Russell, and Peterson. A lot of research has been on it. And their way of modeling is presenting emotions in a XY axis system. All right. So, far right of the x-axis is pleasantness, far left is unpleasant, far above the y-axis is activation, and far below is deactivated state. So what does this mean? Let's listen to a couple of audio examples. So this this is a song like a Rolling Stone. Um, Try to judge if you could feel a bit of these emotions. Did you feel excited? Did you feel elated while you were listening to the song? Were you happy? Um, let's try this one.
उड़े खुले आसमां में ख्वाबों के परिंदे उड़े दिल के जहां में ख्वाबों
Right? So, most of us know this song because it's a Bollywood classic. And while listening to the song, try and judge if you were able to feel a bit relaxed, if you were calmed down, like Ritik Roshan in the movie. And let's try to hear this one.
बड़े धीरे जली रहना धुआं धुआं नैना
So, most people might know this song, some might not know this song. It's a beautiful song, Badi Dheere Jali, sung by Rekha Bharadwaj. And you can really feel the sadness and depression presented in the song. There's a very melancholic tone to all that is happening in there. I have a surprise for you guys. Let's try this one. Oops. This is a song by a band called Inductee. And did you feel a bit stressed? Were you tensed? Did it invoke any fear in you? I'm really sorry for playing it twice. I like the song. So you can see how music is able to bring out these emotions within you. So, is there a way to model these emotions? Now, I developed a website in which I was playing songs for people and I was asking them to rate the x axis and the y axis. Did they feel calm? Did they feel alert? Were they feeling a bit of melancholy or were they happy? And it's a very simple exercise and you can do this to a lot of other audio examples. For example, let's hear a few common sounds in a factory or a mill. Vishnu asks, sir, what about civil? I थोड़ी देर पहले मैंने बोला कि जलेबी मिलेगी दाल चावल के बाद. Okay. Let's hear another sound. This is also an irritating sound. So while you were listening to these sounds, there was a lot of unpleasant sound, and the high noise results in a lot of activation. So it's very easy for factory workers, upper management, or especially laborers to feel really stressed. They are always tensed because of this sound that is prevalent in their factories. This is a more relevant example for students.
You can prevent hearing loss by keeping away from loud noises.
Wear earmuffs, earplugs, or other hearing protection whenever you're around loud sounds. Loud noise causes permanent hearing loss. A high-frequency hearing loss makes it difficult to understand. You can prevent hearing
So
loss by
you
keeping
guys
away
might
from loud
notice
noise.
that
Wear
you can't
earmuffs,
really
earplugs, or other
comprehend
hearing
what the
protection
lecturer is
whenever
saying,
you're
and
around
there's a
loud
lot of
sounds.
focus
Loud
that
noise
needs to be
causes
given,
permanent hearing
which
loss.
is what could be
A
happening to you
high-frequency
guys
hearing
while you're
loss makes it
listening to the
difficult to
lectures.
understand
So it
conversation.
increases a lot of
A hearing
fatigue
test
because
or
of
audiogram
the
helps find any unusual
continuous
changes in
attention
your
that you
hearing.
have to provide.
Off-the-job noise is just as
Let's take
dangerous
a
as
case
noise
of a
on the
noisy
job.
restaurant.
The
This is a
loudness of
common case
noise is
where we
measured in
always
decibels. Noise is
go
louder
and we
than
can't
85
hear each other
decibels
talk.
can cause hearing
So in a noisy restaurant, it's very normal to have a high activation level. You could feel a bit tense or you could feel a bit alert, whereas you want to feel excited. That is why the music is there to increase the activation, but loudness takes it to the unpleasant side. So this is a bit about how you model emotions. Now, what are causing these? What are causing these upsets or positive emotions? Loud noise is a great example to have a stress or a tense situation. Reverberation in a room, which many times incorrectly is known as echo, can make you not understand the speech, and that really creates a problem. If the speech is clear, then you are more calm, you're relaxed, you might even be excited like you are today. So let's take an example of this. Try to listen to the vocalist and the guitars in this audio example, okay? Now this was me jamming with my friends in VNIT, and this guy is a kick-ass drummer. This is one of my best friends, but he plays really really loud, and because of that and because of the bad acoustics of the music room, we were just not able to understand what we were playing. So instead of feeling excited, I was feeling nervous. I was a bit angry why he was playing so loud. And this was sort of the beginning of my acoustical journey. I wanted to know how to increase the level of my guitar, how to listen to the music instruments more clearly. That is when I decided that I'll pursue acoustics. Now, what can we do in the context of sound? Let's try to understand what is acoustics. So, Merriam Webster Dictionary says acoustics is a science that deals with the production, control, transmission, reception, and effects of sound, or the qualities that determine the ability of an enclosure to reflect sound waves in such a way as to produce distinct hearing. But this is the best definition that the dictionary provides, and that is the qualities in a room that affect how well a person in it can hear. The dictionary says this definition is for students specifically. So let's look in the depth in this one. The qualities in a room could be the interior, the dimension, the volume, etc., which affect. The effects that are created are reverberation, it could be clear sound, it could be a diffused sound, how well a person in it. So, how well is the reproduction of the sound? Is the sound clear? Is the sound crisp? Can hear. So, this is the human ability to hear sound. So let's talk about the effect. Let's consider an example of the before and after.
Reach to the individual. For this, what are the nurses going to do? Improve patient safety. That means we have to concentrate on the safety of the patient each and every movement. We have to understand about the health outcomes and how we can improve this health outcomes with evidence-based care.
All right. So this place is actually not far from us. It is right here in Aurangabad. This is the auditorium of Kamalnayan Bajaj Nursing College. Yeah, both the videos is the before and after of acoustical designing. So you notice the words really were clear. In both the cases, the lecturer talks on a mic. The clarity improves though. So what changed? This is the acoustical designing aspect. Let's take an example of a lecturer that speaks. His voice reaches the students, but if the room is a reflecting room, it goes back and reflects back to the students. Now that creates an unclear hearing sound. Sometimes the people might add a reflector so that this sound that is coming back instead goes to the students that are behind. They could add an absorber in the back so that the reflection of the ceiling gets carried over, which is what primarily I did in the Kamalin Bajaj case. So the room carries the sound and then it does not reflect it back. And there are these other examples for a high ceiling case. You can add absorbers here, you can add reflectors, or you can change the way the students are oriented. Now, this is all part of civil engineering. You can really take this into account when you're designing buildings or meeting rooms or auditoriums. There are simple rules that people can follow. For example, when designing a balcony, this depth and this height have a simple relation. It's good to maintain the height which is larger than twice the depth for theaters, and for concert halls it could be equal or larger than the depth. So that really helps people sitting inside listen to what is being said or what is being played. Now when you are let's okay, let's consider another example of what happens. Try to get what is being said here.
You can prevent hearing loss by moving away from loud noise. Wear earbuds, earplugs, or whenever you're around loud sound. Loud noise causes people.
Now this is a very common scenario that happens in factories. Those guys cannot even talk on phones properly. They have to come out, and as we discussed, there's a lot of stress that is involved when working in such an environment. um, this is the example of a actual press shop, and the amount of noise that is present in the press shop, below 500 or 800 hertz, it goes almost to 80 decibels. Combined it reaches to 90 decibels. So what can we do? That was the central question. You guys who are civil engineers, as a career you could specialize in constructing auditoriums, you can specialize in constructing theaters, you can become a consultant for construction firms. So Chitra asks what about civil. So yeah, you can design and build colleges with unique classrooms, you can reduce industrial noise. So all these aspects follow a core civil engineering principle. You can really design the structures and make them reflect the sound the way you want to. You can put an absorption. I'm a civil engineer and I was finding a mix between civil engineering and music, and that is how I actually came to know about acoustics. So All these are very unique ways you can employ your civil engineering knowledge and have a really great edge over the industry, because not many people are well versed with this. Let's go back to the definition a bit, and let's talk a bit about good reproduction of sound. Let's take another jamming example. So you notice the loud drummer there. This is a proper recording room in which we were having a recording session, and the drums are a bit quieter. At the same time, you can even hear the vocalist. Now, the vocalist is using a microphone. Without a microphone, the vocalist just cannot be heard. And the microphone is connected to a speaker that plays sound that is louder than even the drums. And that is why you can actually hear the vocalist in this example. Imagine a theater which does not have speakers in it. It'll be like the old era where all the movies were only mute. So, what about acoustics? What is the role of acoustics here? These are the elements of a loudspeaker, and this comes in the field called electroacoustics. A loudspeaker has a voice coil, as we all know, and it has a diaphragm. So, as the current passes through the voice coil and these magnets act upon it, it causes the diaphragm to vibrate up and down, and that vibration creates a to and fro motion of air. As soon as air is vibrated in a to and fro motion, it creates sound. So all the awesome music that you hear and yet you love, all the awesome movies that you watch, an acoustical engineer sat down and designed these systems. They designed the speakers, they designed the mixing deck, they designed the microphones, they designed effect pedals, and that is why you can actually get to hear me right now. I'm talking, I'm using this microphone here. I'm not sure if you can see it. I'm using these headphones to get communication from you or from Devgiri College. And that is the role of acoustics. So, all the electronic engineering students, you guys can specialize in sound recording. You can design loudspeaker systems. I think Auti sir has done a few projects on that. I'm not really clear about that, but the Devgiri people can directly talk to him about this. You can design and install sound systems for various theaters, various auditoriums. You can really have a sort of a business in this area. And now let's move on to the human ability to hear sound. Now remember this from a while ago.
You can prevent hearing loss by keeping away from loud noise. Wear earmuffs, earplugs, or other hearing aids whenever you're around loud sounds. Loud noise causes hearing loss.
This is the actual track.
You can prevent hearing loss by keeping away from loud noise. Wear earmuffs, earplugs, or other hearing protection whenever you're around loud sounds.
So, what happens? A normal human ear has an outer ear, but there are people who maybe from childhood do not have the ability to hear, and for them we have a thing called cochlear implants. This outer ear for them is replaced using a sound processor, which you can see right here. We have a middle ear which transmits sound from the eardrum to the cochlea, which is the inner ear. And for cochlear implants, we have a implant which uses the sound that is coming in from the processor. It's inserted through your skull bone inside your cochlea. And here in the cochlea, there are these electrodes that sort of um, behave as the inner ear for humans. And these really, it sort of lights up, right? But then there is a limitation. These electrodes are not as sensitive as the actual biological human ear. What happens is, you can try to hear what people using cochlear implants actually hear. Now take a moment and try to understand what was said. Really comprehend. I'll try again. Now let's hear the original track. This is what we will hear, the people who have normal hearing.
Han Solo. I'm captain of the Millennium Falcon.
It's a it's a common excerpt from this famous movie some people might know called Star Wars. And this is Han Solo introducing himself and his dearest friend Chewbacca saying hi. And it's easy for us to hear, right? Look at the definition. There's a background music. You can really understand when the speaker changes. So there are two speakers. But the people using cochlear implants just cannot. So what you could do, you could become a researcher in hearing impairments. There's a great field of psychoacoustics and hearing aids, and you can really research. You can have a PhD. You can go places. You can build new technology for hearing. Maybe you can replace the electrodes in our cochlear implants, or you can try to find out a way of transplanting an ear. I'm not sure if that is already being done. You can research in audiology and psychoacoustics. You can see how many people have lost hearing, uh, what degree of hearing they have lost, and you can judge prescriptions. You can do all these things. You can consult existing doctors and existing audiologists as well. And maybe this is unrelated to acoustics per se, but you can start a school for hearing impaired people. In Aurangabad, there is this school called Utkarsh Apanga Prashikshan Sanstha. I worked with them a bit, and they are doing this amazing work. They teach students who have do not have hearing, but they teach them to actually talk. You can do something like that. The possibilities are immense. But as we all say, all you have to do is keep your ears open. Thank you. Now, most importantly, how did it make you feel? So I see Vishnu saying I'm confused. So what are you confused about? You can talk to me in comment sections and we can try to have a chat where I can answer questions. Thank you, Vrushal. So Premchand Kumar asks, what is the use of our daily life in acoustic? Or do you mean what is the use of acoustics in our daily life? Um, right now, you are talking to me through a platform which is called YouTube and you're listening to me. So you have a speaker somewhere that is kept and that is transmitting sound to you. I have a microphone here that catches my sound and then it transmits to you. So that is an aspect of acoustics. Another major aspect would be traffic noise. So people who live near highways can really see how the trucks, when they pass by, it really shatters and shakes the windows. Or if you know, when the sonic boom of an aircraft happens, that has the potential of breaking windows if it passes really near to your windows. So all these are acoustics in daily life. Even while you're watching television, you can try to judge if the dialogue is clear or not. And if it's not clear, then maybe you can um, close the curtains and see if it's sounding clear now, because there might be a lot of reflection in your hall. Or you can try to go to your kitchen, listen to the sound, and then you can come back to your bedroom and listen to the sound and how it behaves, and is it a bit quieter and all. So that is an approximation of the use of acoustics in our daily life. I hope I answered your question, Premchand. Pragya K says circumplex model of emotions was really insightful. Thank you, Pragya. It was a part of my final thesis when I was doing my master's. So I also really learned a lot when I studied the model of emotions. The best part is you can use it anywhere in your life. You can, maybe if you're married, you can try to see what your husband is making you feel. Is he making you nervous, or is he making you excited? Are you relaxed? So I want to also talk to people who were asking what about civil engineering. So did I answer a bit of your questions, or is there anything that you guys want to ask?
So you can put light on the civil engineering department and the field of acoustic engineering and civil engineering department.
Right. So okay, one thing which is very relevant to civil engineering is, okay, Mahesh asks another question. I'll answer you, Mahesh, as soon as I talk to the civil engineering people. When you can observe people who in a building live on the floor above you, and if they're doing some drilling or if they're dancing on the floors, it irritates you. So that part is called the flanking transmission of sound. What happens is the structures are not designed such that they obstruct the transmission of sound through the structures themselves. So you can actually work on removing that part, removing the sound that transmits through the structures. You civil engineers build buildings basically, so you can also begin to explore the area of building industrial sheds. Industrial sheds have a lot of trusses in them. They are high roofed sheds, but as you've seen, because of whatever the structure is, the sound is really bad. And there are legal requirements when it comes to the sound level of a shop floor. So for an 8-hour shift, the average sound level cannot be greater than 90 decibels. So you can work on such structures which limit the sound. You can put in machineries in enclosure, or you can design the structure in such a way that the sound, instead of reflecting, goes outside of the industrial shed. And there's a lot you can explore. There's another question. In case of heavy machinery organization or power plants, there is so noise, and they use birds to avoid that sound. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Shuddhodhan. And there are these tiny birds that try to minimize the sound that goes inside your ear. Um, but there's one another thing that goes on. So I interviewed a few laborers who were skilled in operating those machineries, and they were not using the buds, and I got very irritated. मैंने बोला, why are you not using this is for your own health. He goes and says, sir, ये मशीन का जो आवाज़ है, इससे मेरे को समझ में आता है मशीन में फॉल्ट है कि नहीं. ये कान में डाला तो आवाज गया. So I was dumbstruck. Even I did not know what to do at that time because those guys need to work. They are passionate about their work. They are passionate about their machinery. So they usually avoid using earbuds and everything. So a lot of tech can be developed in this specific area where you want people to live a quieter life, but you also want their expertise to continue. You don't want to hamper their expertise. Um, Mahesh Badmera asks, can you please say something about relation between binaural beats and state or emotion? E, so I'm guessing this question also you might want me to elaborate on the spiritual feeling that you get when you listen to binaural beats. If you're not, that's okay. I'll still touch upon it. Um, what happens is our ears are really great, and when we hear any sound, the basic mechanism of sound inclusion does not have any effect on the perception. What happens is the sound goes to this part called brain, and that is where it starts perceiving. That is where the brain starts perceiving sound in certain ways. That is why you find the machinery sound to be unpleasant, but you find music to be pleasant. So when the binaural beats take place, people are researching on that, and it so happens that you go into a very calm and relaxed state of mind, and it's the periodicity of those beats that has people perceive a meditative state. So there's a lot of examples of people experiencing meditative states when they listen to binaural sound.
Sure, one question. Hello, sir.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, one question is there from Lipanis. Wanted to ask that for concentration, sound plays important role. Is it true?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It it's a it's a nice catch. So if you are, let's talk about the emotion again. If you're really excited about the sound, you might not be able to focus. But if that sound at the same time makes you calm and relaxed, then it's easy for you to focus on other tasks. And sound also increases the activation or decreases the activation. So depending on the task you want to do. So if you want to say clean your room, I personally hate cleaning my room, but then it's a requirement for life. So what I would do is I'll increase the pleasantness of the music and I'll increase the activation. That will get me in an excited state of emotion. So then I can sort of fake excitement even for cleaning my room. If I want to study, I want a relaxed and a serene environment. So I'll play some mellow music. I'll play some jazz so that gets me relaxed and that can help me research. Um,
Okay.
Sound also plays a major role in empathizing with you. So if you are in a stressful situation, then you can actually listen to music that is stressful. The kind of track that I played before, such sounds could possibly em- create an emotion of empathy and take that stress or anxiety away from you. So in many metal concerts, you see people literally fighting with each other, but at the end of the concert, they become best friends. So it's a very weird and inexplicable thing that music creates.
Yeah. From Nilima Kulkarni, we have the question that how it is actually intemia. I'm not getting. Can you answer? How it is actually intemia?
Mm,
Even I am not able
I did
to.
not. I
Yeah,
did not.
Nilima, can you put your question
I think
clearly?
she has asked how useful is it an earthquake
Yeah,
alarm?
yeah. Government
Oh,
should include acoustic subject. Yeah, one of the nice question.
okay.
Can you put light on it?
Well, earthquake alarms are a very, I mean, it is definitely related to vibrations because so this is again for civil engineering students, you guys learn a bit of geology. So when the plates go over and under each other, there's an earthquake. And when this happens, there is a lot of vibration that is created. That is very, very low frequency vibration. So our ears are not sensitive to that. And a lot of research is being done, but so far people have not been able to really predict if an earthquake is coming or not before the earthquake is struck. So it's a very difficult thing to predict an earthquake, even if you have all the knowledge and vibration. But government definitely should include acoustics as a subject, because there's a lot of things that people take for granted. For example, classrooms. I mean, it's a bit different from the earthquake situation, but a normal classroom can be designed such that the lecturers really are able to communicate with students. And when that happens, even the lecturers will feel that they are a bit more relaxed when giving a lecture. They have a good communication with the students, and the students are not sleepy, they are not fatigued, they are relaxed. They could even be excited depending on the prowess of the lecturer. So government should definitely include acoustics as a subject.
Okay. So one question is then from Pravalika Banga. How it is useful in checking weather condition, environmental conditions, maybe he is
Hmm.
wanted to ask.
It's a interesting question. So I'll be frank, I don't really know if it if acoustics can help predict weather. um, so it's something that we all need to research on. I think acoustics might not be useful that much in weather conditions, but I could be wrong. I'll be happy to be wrong in this one.
Uh, okay, fine. So I have one question from my side.
Yeah, ma'am, please.
Yeah. Uh, uh, Sound contains the three categories, like one sound which we cannot hear, infrasound, and one sound which we can hear as an ultrasound. If I'm correct.
Yeah.
Am I correct? Now,
And we can't hear ultrasound as well.
we can't hear infrasound as well. But the
Yeah.
thing is, if we can't hear it, is it going to play, or is it going to impact on human health?
Hmm. Uh, there is no impact directly per se. So sound, what you you cannot have anything that you cannot perceive affect you. So if you can't really hear, then you can't really create a perception of that. And if you can't create a perception of that, then there is no emotive state that is related to it. So ultrasound is something that is above 20,000 hertz, and infrasound is that is something below 20 hertz. So these ranges you can't really hear,
Okay.
and it cannot have impact. um, there's there's an interesting study, because these infrasounds are uh, vibrations essentially. Really, really high level of infrasounds have known health impacts. I mean, if the sound is say at 200 decibels, then that can directly kill you. But
Okay.
it's not dependent on frequency, it's dependent on the level of the sound. It's because it's too loud, it kills you.
Okay. The second question I have is, uh, at some time in back, I have heard or read, I don't remember, but I gone through the thing like, if we play music, certain silent tones in farm, it is going to help in growing plants.
Oh
The
yeah.
health of the plant with the sound impact, without sound impact. If I compare with the sound, the plants grow well. Even
Hmm.
though they don't have ears, they can't listen, still the growth is good. Is it true?
I am sorry to burst your bubble, but that study has been disproven.
Okay,
So
okay,
what
okay.
happened was, people played Mozart to plants, and the plants were growing. So that study, the research paper said that this could potentially be a interesting research. What the media picked up was that this creates positive vibes and it causes the plants to grow faster. Then there was a study for animals that animals are more relaxed. Animals actually could be relaxed because they also have ears, they might have certain perceptual domains. But plants, definitely that's a myth.
Okay, thank you, sir. So we have one question that okay, why not from Nilima Kulkarni? That why not government includes the approval from acoustic engineer for building or construction?
Oh, okay. Um, right now, there is no mechanism to certify an acoustical engineer. We have a lot of certifying agencies which certify the ISO norms, and there is the Institution of Valuers and IBBI for valuers, and such an agency, such an authoritative agency does not really exist in India. So there is no formal approval of an acoustic engineer for building or construction in India right now. um, I think it is necessary, and at the same time PWD has their own sort of guideline for, every state has their own guideline for designing structures, but that rarely gets updated. So that's also a big issue that the Indian, especially the government auditoriums, face in India. A good example would be Sant Eknath Rang Mandir. They did not have proper guidelines to uh, maintain it. So government should have, but then right now there is no formal authority.
Okay, one more question from Nilima. That is there a association of acoustic engineer in our state?
Mm, there is an acoustical society, not related to Maharashtra, but a national acoustical society. But I think they do good research work, but it's not really famous. I mean, acoustics is very in its very nascent stage. There are a handful of acoustical designers. So this institution is not really out there. They have a very close knit group of acousticians.
Okay, okay. One question from Anita ma'am that sir, can it help deaf mute child? Is there any research going on?
Yeah, yeah, most definitely. So many times a deaf child is mute because that child is deaf. So if you notice, you learnt language while you were listening. Without listening, you could not have learned to speak. And because children who have hearing impairments cannot listen, they just cannot speak. So cochlear implants, as I mentioned, they are a great way of trying to give hearing to someone who has no hearing at all. So it's like something is better than nothing. And a lot of research is going on in cochlear implants and psychoacoustics. um, I know a research, I mean, this is insider information and the company might not like me sharing it on this platform, but I will do that nevertheless. uh, there's a hearing aids have a tendency to not function in environments which are loud, because they are tuned to a specific direction, trying to listen to a specific person. So that company is trying to judge if the person is able to hear or not properly based on the person's internal characteristics. I'm not sure how they are doing it, but they're trying to judge if the person is comfortable or not. So a lot of research is going on in this area. Um, in India as well. Okay. So there's a lot of research. I think Indian Institute of Science Bangalore is doing a lot of research. Maybe you can try to talk to Munjal sir, who's very famous in acoustics. So there's a lot of research in that area.
Yes, sir. One from Rucha Dashrathi ma'am. Love the rabri jalebi, but the dal chawal more. Was what, sir? Never knew acoustic was all round even in daily life and simple things like a lecture hall. Yes, sir.
Oh, well, thank
Well
you so
said.
much.
Thanks, ma'am. Yeah. One question from Sonali Mahajan. Can acoustic engineering help in deciding age of newly constructed building?
Yes, definitely. Not only it helps in the age of constructed building, it also is used to judge if the railway lines have cracks. So they pass ultrasound, and if there is a crack, the ultrasound reflects. And on the receiving side, if there is no sound in that very specific area, then they can judge that there is an issue. So in buildings and in railway tracks and in a lot of such constructions, you can use in situ tests to determine how the construction is.
Okay. Uh, yeah, one question from Deshpande, ma'am. That is it that you need a special ear to be an acoustician?
No, you do not. I don't have a special ear, so I have normal ears.
Okay, fine. From Praveen Nalavde, sir, we have that what is the value of dB to be achieved in auditorium?
Okay. Mm, there is that's actually I'm sorry to say, but the question itself is incorrect.
Mm-hmm.
dB is the measure of how loud the sound is.
Yes.
So there is no ideal value. If you want, you can. Many rock concerts, the music that I played earlier, those concerts go up to 100 or 110 decibels in a live or an auditorium scenario. And it's definitely not advisable for health, but when people go to a concert, they do not care about it. And many lectures actually hardly touch 80 decibels. So the value of dB depends on how much you turn the knob. If you turn the knob a lot, then it will be loud. If you turn the knob uh, in the reverse direction, it will be quieter. Health wise, I would say for 8 hours, 90 decibels is the average. For 4 hours, 93 decibels. For 2 hours, 96 decibels, and so on. So, depending on the length of your function in an auditorium, you can adjust that value when it comes to health.
Okay. So one request, I believe this is a request from Nilima ma'am. That sir, please arrange one TV show, your lecture on uses of acoustic engineer in our life.
Okay.
Fine.
Yeah, I'm a filmmaker, so I should be able to do that.
Yeah, it will be good for our side also.
Okay.
I believe I have covered almost all the questions.
All right.
Yeah, one new question from Nilima ma'am itself is how the acoustic engineering differ from noise and vibration?
It's essentially the same thing. Noise and vibration is a part of acoustical engineering.
Okay,
Sound, in essence, is vibration, so it's the same.
okay, fine. I believe we have covered almost all the questions.
All right.
Okay, fine.
So, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, thank you, sir. Amod Deshpande, sir. Respected Dr. Ulash Yurkar, sir. Director DIMS. Vice Principal SB Kalyankar, sir. And HOD of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering Department, Dr. R.M. Auti, sir, and all the participants. It's my privilege to have been asked to propose vote of thanks on this occasion. On behalf of Department of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering, I extend a very hearty vote of thanks to Honorable Amod Sir, who blessed us with presence and took us valuable time from his busy schedule to share his valuable knowledge. It was a run through, sir, wherein within say last 1 hour we have felt sadness, happiness, excitement, and all. I'm also wish to express my gratitude to our beloved director, sir, Dr. Ulas Shivka, sir, and Vice Principal, Professor S.B. Kalyankar, sir, MSP Mandal Management, for providing us encouragement and unending support. I'm very much grateful to Dr. R.M. Auti, sir, for providing us this opportunity to organize this webinar. I heartily congratulate all the participants for their achievement and active participant for this webinar. I extend big thank to Professor A.M. Birazla sir and G.S. Lipani sir, along with whole ENTC department staff members for their support and minute-to-minute guidance. Now, for the feedback, participants can have the link which is already provided in the comments box, and they can have their certificate of participation. I thank you all for making this webinar successful with your contribution. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you
Yeah,
for people and everyone involved. It was a pleasure.
yeah, thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot.